All right, so I will just stare at myself through this, and that'll work. Check to make sure we're broadcasting. Yeah, that works. Okay, so I watched I think these are more the mindset videos for No Product, No Problem with Matt McWilliams. And I'm going to just go ahead and record these for posterity and make it a live broadcast. So if anybody wants to join in the middle, they can. All right, so the first module, 2.1, sell. Yeah, sell like you were talking about your favorite restaurants. Let's put that up here. Sell like you were talking about your favorite restaurant. Okay. So we'll go with that. And some of the points that really particularly struck me. Let's see. So, yeah, well, when you're talking about your favorite restaurant, you're talking about it with passion. You know, you're like really excited about the food. And hey, and so the idea being that we sell each other all the time. And the main thing is you just have to be excited about what it is you're talking about. And that's always been very true for me. In fact, I've always been so damned introverted most of my life that honestly, unless I was really excited about the thing that I was talking about, I couldn't talk about it at all. Fortunately, I'm pretty excited about this. So you end up painting a vivid picture of the restaurant. And then I wrote down story because yeah, you relate stories to people, and that makes them interested. People love hearing stories. They want to hear about how you. Well, let's see. The example that Matt used was the waitress is so great that even though I left my wallet on the table, she came back and running out to the parking lot and gave it to me. That kind of thing. Okay, and so yeah, the whole deal is that you care. All right, so that's short and sweet. Let's do number 2. Let's duplicate this, that, and so we'll make this 2.2. And so this 2.2 is all about your avatar. And your avatar is your kind of like a customer profile. And when you are starting to do this in the beginning, you may not know what your customer profile really is. And I'm kind of a huge generalist. I mean, I've got, well, I'll show you what I wrote down for my potential ones. So, you know, I'm doing podcasting sort of in the vein, and creating videos sort of in the vein of Stefan Molyneux, Jordan Peterson, Carl Benjamin. I envy their their audiences, if nothing else, and the message that they deliver. And of course, Tom Woods' stuff is cool, and I enjoy his show a lot as well. I think that most people watching this do. All right, well, I'll try not to babble about this, but this was the thing that really stood out about the customer profile. The customer profile is probably going to end up being something like, this is likely you in the past. And that means, hey, this is what I learned, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. This is what I learned a few weeks ago, even, or a year ago, or a couple of years ago. And this is what, if you know this will save you a lot of time. And I think that's my main message is helping people with learning curves. So what were some of my profiles that I came up with? Well, I guess so. I'm going to have like one guy that's going to be consuming rage news. All right. So this is going to be our freedom lover. Well, okay. So I have a big overarching guy. So it's like freedom loving individuals is going to be my audience. And then under that, I'm going to have like the guy that I engage with using rage and disgust because those are really engaging things. This is what the mainstream media uses all the time. They get you upset and, oh, I can't believe that story, right? So and articles, except that I'm going to turn it back on their face and point out all the different collectivists. So this is going to be like anti-collectivist. Anti-collectivists. And then another segment is going to be the self-improvement seeking humble person. And so this is going to be like, well, my self-help style. I call it the light side. And going back on that, I call this one the dark side, because that's more, well, kind of those shadow emotions, shadow personalities that come out from us that we like to indulge with every once in a while. And then the light side is the good side of us that we sometimes forget how to embrace. Then I do little inspirational videos on that, like you can see my one on the slow driver, I think, was a pretty good one. I'll pat myself on the back for that one. All right, and then what else we're gonna have? So more philosophical. That's spelled right. It's late. Philosophical, yeah. Philosophical truth seeker. Yeah, that's not. Thank God for autocorrect. Okay, there we go. It's philosophical truth seeker. And this is going to be like my light and dark synthesis, more archetypal stories. I call this light and dark. And like there's one I've done on Dumbo. I did one on the origins of and the meanings of mysticism and especially as it's helped protect I think the main message of Christianity. So things like that. So light and the dark synth. And then I have another avatar segment I call the history lover. And this is going to tap into kind of like, Dan Carlin was a really great storyteller, and he's just really, well, he hardly spits things out at all anymore, but I always envied his ability to tell a really great story and to take a whole bunch of texts and weave a narrative. So that's going to be one segment. And kind of like there's I think Mises.org has something called is it Mythbuster history. So I'll have to look that up. Actually, I'll just look at my phone real quick. That was look at my podcasts here. What is it called? Oh yeah, historical controversies. So at Mises.org. Yeah, and part of this one, this is where I'm going to stick more of the libertarian, anarcho-capitalist stuff. Well, you get the idea. All right, Mises.org. Okay, so those were my main avatars, and then the idea is to think about, well, what's their goal? What's this customer look like? What's their so your avatars are going to have a where do they things that Matt said where are they going to get their information from? So there are information sources and challenges that the avatar is going to face. And that's going to be things like, well, I'm not sure this is what he meant, but here's what I thought about, because Michael Chaney had a good way of, well, how do you sell anybody on anything? Well, you say how to do X without the pain of Y. So that's things like how to make money online without there being 25 hours in the day and you being exhausted at the end of it, things like that. And then you want to see your demographics. And this most of this comes from after your list is built. I don't have a list right now, but you want to break that down so that you can market more directly to the different segments. And so now I'll probably whittle down my avatars to what works really well. And actually, you know what? There's another one here. Because I'm going to do another podcast probably if there was only 50 hours in the day. Something along the lines of my story from atheism to, well, I don't know what to call myself anymore, to, well, we'll say atheism, because I think it was something like I went from agnostic to atheism to God. And, well, what does that mean? Because I think my definition of God is quite a bit different from everybody else's. Alright. Alright, so that's good for that section. Maybe someone will watch this and you can ping me and see what you think, if I got this right or not. Alright, let's flip over. So I've got some notes on 2.3. Okay, focus on what? And so it was 2.3. Focus on what? What was that all about? Right, so you want, there's this mindset, and I'm going to write this in strike throughs. Yeah, like this. So there's this mindset that you can either do your product or affiliate product, and that's wrong. So the idea being that you want to be able to incorporate your affiliate product should give you the ability to make your main product even better, or to fill a particular gap. So let's see, let's go through that, because I'm just now rereading these notes. Okay, yeah, so Matt used the example of the chair, and if you're a chair maker, then you need a guy that's going to make cushions, and you need a guy that's going to make, well, not so much what you're going to make, but you might want to know the guy that owns the furniture store. You might want to, God, I can't spell. Furniture store owner. You might want to know what kinds of things that could be stocked in the store, or you could sell alongside your chairs. So, like, maybe, I think he said scented candles. So the idea being that you have all these complementary products, and vertical integration is was the term that I thought of. All right. And so the idea is you want to have complementary synergy between the affiliate and your stuff. And so fill in gaps in your product and take it and maybe have an affiliate that would take your product to the next level. Something like that. And it would make sense to have all that in a nice circle. Okay, so yeah, verticality. And then he also took some time to talk about planning, launches, and filling in the calendar. And then, of course, this relationship of A promoting B, and maybe B promotes A, and maybe A also promotes C, and C might promote B, and you get this nice networking. What do we call that? Networking of affiliates, something like that. Okay, and the last one, 2.4. Two point four was small list, no list. Honestly, he did focus more on small list, but I had some ideas. All right, and so yeah, this is another mindset slide. And I think one of the big things was that if you have a really small list, then you need to be super intimate. Intimate. Oh, that's terrible. That's not right. Yeah, well, that's right. ATE. All right. Super intimate with your list subs. That way you've got. Well, you're never going to have the chance to do that again, right? And they're going to be your core subscribers. And they're also going to be, these may be guys that you end up networking with for years to come. Network startup for business relationships. And let's see. Yeah, the term he used was nurture your list, and there's a lot of good reasons for that. And then he said to do your own thing. What did he mean by that? Oh, don't be afraid to model and copy and steal. So do your own thing. And so well, yeah, and I agree with this because I think you want to learn from the masters and pull out the techniques, pull out the tech that works for you and make it your own. Yeah, that makes sense because you want to have your own personality coming through, because that's what a lot of people are going to come to you for that. All right. Oh, I wish I could read what I wrote there. Ha. Oh, well, that's what the videos are there for. All right. So audience follows you. Oh, okay. So he talked about this. There's a bonus video, and I haven't watched this yet. From was it John Mize? Bonus, and that had 3 main topics. So remember, your audience follows you, and not your affiliate. So make sure you may want to do things like make video series for your affiliates that are all you selling them the product. And the idea being that, well, they have this relationship with you and they want to hear your voice and they want to know why you think it's great. And they'll trust you. I mean, I think a lot of us had this experience with Tom Woods and buying into Matt's. No product, no problem. Because, well, we trusted Tom and we're like, well, we don't know Matt, but Tom's checked it out. You know, it's that kind of thing. All right, depth and breadth. What was depth and breadth in John's thing? Yeah, okay, so the idea being that depth and breadth. Bread, TH. Depth and breadth. So my idea is find something that starts off running on its own, so to speak, and then drill down and give deep content. What does that mean? That means, in my case, so if people really like those little inspirational 3-minute blurbs the most, then I would focus on that and start possibly lengthening them. If they like the philosophical side of things, if they want more of that, then that's what I would focus on and give more in-depth analysis. And that's good because you don't want to just be copying other people's stuff out there, because you got to be able to differentiate yourself. All right, and then hustle, right? Hustle. So we're running out of space here. Hustle. Hustle. And what did he mean by hustle? Do more with. I wrote down. Do more with energy. Provide your time. Oh yeah. So yeah, absolutely. One thing that you can give to everybody is give your time, and by digging deep, like up above, digging deep, and being energetic about it. And because people will feed off your passion, and that'll attract a following to you, hopefully. So yeah, guys that are on here watching this, especially, I'm going to give you guys, well, I don't want to name any names in the video. Who knows who will end up watching it. All right, well, I think that was the main gist of it all. We'll shut it down here, and I'll throw this recording up on YouTube and paste it up in the group. You guys can check it out. Tell me what you think down in the comments and Facebook and on YouTube. We'll talk to you later.